advice. I am not a professional stock trader, nor am I a financial advisor of any kind. I make no guarantees, nor do I offer any promises of any kind with the processes or information shared in this video. Okay, so I just took you through the way that I use my EMAs. So now, if somebody asks me, I'm just going to point them in that direction, and you do the same, okay? If you're watching this video. So now we're going to talk about something that's very important that you need to understand, and a lot of times shows you how me personally, how I somewhat predict the movement, where it's going to go down and where it's going to come up. Now, there's a lot more to this, but this is the very simple explanation to this. And when I started paying attention to this, it took my trading up to a whole nother level very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, I'm not telling you to do it, I'm just showing you how I do it. All right, so this particular day, the Friday, October the 7th, I was trading the SPY. That's basically what I do. And if anybody knows Cyberman, you know that's my thing. I like to SPY. No, I like to SPY because it moves fast, up and down. You could get your money easily out of it. I've never had a problem closing or getting in or anything with the SPY. Okay, so but now let me show you what sales pressure and buy pressure zones look like. That's right, buy pressure zones, sell pressure zones. So when you are trying to spot out which way a stock is going to go. Oh no, not you. I'm sorry. When I didn't mean to say you. When I am spotting out a way a stock's going to go, what I do is I grab my rectangle tool over here. I spot a run. You see this run? Okay. And what I do is I look for 3 candles in a row or more. And I look for, decent candles, not just a little candle like this right here, or just this and maybe one more of these. No, I look for stuff like this with this, these two, and hopefully this one, But this is a nice run here. So what I do to find my buy pressure, I simply go to the top of that run. I go here. This is still red, so I have to go over till I find green at the top of that run right here. Okay. Now, when I do that, I take my tool and I go to the very top of that candle, which is the wick there. And then I come down to the very bottom, which is the bottom of the wick there. And I pull it out, plain and simple. And that, my friend, is very easily how I find my buy pressure. Okay. The reason it's buy pressure and not sell pressure is because more than likely, as this thing comes down, it's going to come back up. More than likely, may not do it today. At some point, it will. And when it comes back here, this is the likeliest zone, okay, between these two lines is the most likeliest zone that it's going to hit, consolidate, or just hit and come back down. That's my thinking of it, okay? That's what I do to start my day, and I usually would do that on the 15, and I will do that on the 5. So, okay, let's go to the 15. That was the 5, all right? Let's go to 15. Let me show you how I would do that on the 15. So, first of all, to represent the 5, my representation, let's see here. Let me do this before we move on. My color representation of the 5, okay, as I told you way back in a video, is red. So bam, I go red. Let me go a little darker on the red. So that's my sell pressure zone. Sell pressure. When this thing comes back up and hits this, it's likely to start selling off. That's simple. That's it. I wish I could make that harder, but that's it. 3 candles in a row, 3 or more. three decent candles or more, so we know that there's real money being put behind them. When you have big candles like this, it's maybe these guys on the dark pool with the sweeps and the blocks that are spending a lot of money. Maybe it's big business, big money, whatever you call them. Whales, I call them whales because I trade crypto, and we call them whales in crypto. So I just call them whales. You know. So this is your very simple, very very simple. This is your sell pressure. Okay. So now let's see if I can find some buy pressure. I doubt it because I didn't see anything coming up here. So no, I don't see anything. So I don't see any buy pressure on the 15-minute. Okay. But I do see sell pressure on the 15-minute. So I'm talking the beginning of the day. This is what I would do before any of this stuff is here, or maybe when this first one's coming out. This is what I'm going to do. Now, this doesn't work for me all the time, but it works a lot. Doesn't work all the time, but it works a lot. Now you see the wick is over my sell pressure zone here on the 15. So the color I use to represent my 15 is black. So I'm going to come over here, but actually the perforated line right here is where you need to be paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm coming right up there on top of that wick, and there is no bottom wick now. So I'm coming right to the bottom of that. Bam, right there. And I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to go this way. Okay. And that, my friends, is my 15-minute sales pressure zone. And I use black. So we're going to make that black. Okay. And we're going to make it light so I don't get it confused with my pre-market zone. Or maybe, let's just keep it a little darker like that. I don't want to get it confused with my pre-market zone, okay? So that's my 15-minute sales pressure. Why is it black? Because that's the color I use to represent my 15-minute, okay? Why is this one red? Because that's the color I use to represent red. Now, I normally won't go to the 1 minute unless I'm just like desperate and there's nothing that I can use, and I just gotta find something. But I don't like to really use the 1 minute with this, just telling you what I do. All right, now we're in the 1 minute. I really don't like to use the 5, but I noticed lately I've been having to use it a lot. So if we come to the 1 minute, it's going to be this candle right here. So if we peel this back, remember you go to the top of the run and you come over. So it would be right here to right there. We'd make another zone, and that'd be green because green is what I use to represent the 1 minute. Okay, so that's my sales pressure. All right, very simple, very easy. Ideally, with when I'm thinking the stock, maybe it comes down here, maybe it works its way back up, and when it gets here, it's likely to sell off and come back down. Okay, so on the 1 minute, I see a little run here that I could show you what buy pressure looks like. Okay, so remember, 3 candles are better. 3 decent candles are better. This is 4. This is okay. I don't really like using the 1 minute, but just to illustrate. So I come down to the bottom of my 3 candle move or better with decent candles. Okay, none of this stuff here. If it's like 3 of these, forget it. Don't worry about that. It's not the spot. Okay, and then I would come over to the next candle. That's red right here. I'll go to that top of that wick right there. I'll go to the bottom of that wick right there. And I take it and I just come over. That's it. And this would be green because I'm in the 1 minute. So I come over here and that's green. Now, that's my buy pressure zone. Okay. So ideally, this comes down, but we wouldn't be able to see this one until this is, because this is after this. So ideally it comes down, okay? It comes in the buy pressure zone and then it gets bought out. And look what it did. The buy pressure shut out, okay? But it came right back. Look at my EMA. Didn't even Barely had an upturn, barely right there. My RSI probably went up, came back down. Okay. This is on the 1 minute. All right. Came back into the buy pressure zone. Okay. And what happened? It ran right through it. Now, when it does this, you could kind of leave it, but that's why I don't like doing it on the 1 minute either. You could leave it and use it, but uh, not when it's having another run. So let's go to 5 minutes, see what that looks like. Okay, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay, so this is what it looks like in the 5 minute. Look at, there's not even buy pressure there. Okay, so that's why it's running through it. That's why I don't like to use the one with this, with the buy or sell. Just illustrating, showing you why. Get rid of that. So if I come to the 5 minute, now where's my buy pressure at? That's what I'm looking for. But this is iffy. I wouldn't use that. See, that's what I mean. That's three candles that are kind of weak. So as you come over, I see two, but I see one. Then there's a red, there's a green, then there's a little. No, that ain't gonna work. Not 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 gonna work. These three guys here, too small. Not gonna work. Okay, not gonna work. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. There's only two. There's only two, and they're both. This one's okay. If this one was like maybe double this guy, I would maybe try to use that for buy pressure. But look at coming all the way down, and we're out of the day, and there's really no buy pressure on the 5 minute, man. Okay, so what does that tell you? It tells you we got to go to the 15. Go to 15. So let's see if we can find any buy pressure. And look at that. I could tell you right now, there's none. I could tell you right now, there's none. That's why this thing is going down. Now, if you were in the class this last Friday and I was playing the spy and you were paying attention to what I was saying there is, for the whole day, there's hardly been any buy pressure. And what happened? We just kept going down and down and down. We'd only be jumping up really on the 1 minute. But then you see on the 1 minute there's buy pressure, but it doesn't last that long. That's why I don't like to use it. Okay? And basically all you do is once you find your buy or sell pressure to start the day, now let's say this thing came down, hit this and it came down. These are gone. Erase them. Okay? You don't need them no more. Basically they're out of there because you're going to keep doing this as the day progresses. Okay? So if we're looking at the 15 minute, that's where we would start right there. And we would bring that out. Or actually, ideally, we would start right here and bring that out. But the sales pressure is so heavy from the beginning of the day that we never really went up. Okay, on the 15 minutes. So let's look at the hour. It's for shits and giggles here. Okay, come across. Look at all that hard buy pressure or sell pressure, in the pre-market. That's why we never came up. Okay, are you starting to understand what I'm seeing? Let's look at the 4 hour. Look at that candle. Look at that. Look at this. You got this. It came up to here, and the seller said no. We fell all the way. Hey, look at this. Look at this. Hardly any buy pressure. This is buy pressure down here. Hardly any. That's why with the SPY, I was like, dude, the buy pressure, sell pressure is too close on the 5 minute and on the 15 minute. I'm just waiting. People didn't know what I was talking about. Well, that's what I was talking about. Then I was like, the whole day, there was hardly any buy pressure. That's what I was talking about. I mean, it's deeper than that, but this is the fastest way I could get you to understand it. Since people are asking me, this is what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you to use this. I'm not telling you any plays. I'm not telling you to invest in anything. I'm just telling you what I do, and that's it. So maybe you can understand now how I'm calling the plays out the way I call them out. All right. So I don't think I'm going to make an example video for this because, or maybe I will, but maybe I'll go to a whole nother stock. Let me find another stock I could replay to make an example video of this. Very important information, and I just want you to see how it plays out. So I have to make an example video. I'm just gonna take a moment after this one to find a stock that's moving decently where I can show you and illustrate how you use this going forward, or how I use it. I'm sorry, how I use it. Okay.